Hey everybody, it's Professor Steins, and today I'm going to just do a little bit of an intro to XAMPP. I've kind of shown it a little bit in past videos, but it's pretty easy to pick up and not that hard to use. What it's going to do is it's going to kind of give us a little bit more of a traditional development environment as opposed to kind of how we've been doing things thus far, really probably in IT in general. But XAMPP is kind of the development environment for PHP and MySQL and Perl, and it's kind of run on the Apache web server, and it's kind of like a really portable, web server, and that's kind of why it works good as a development environment. So what I would suggest to you is to come out here and go ahead and get it. It'll help you out in this week's assignment because we're kind of running up against that cross-origin policy that we had in previous assignments. We're going to kind of run up to it again this week. And I don't have Firefox on my PC, so I just kind of want to go ahead and do it in XAMPP, and I don't have to worry about that cross origin issue. So anyway, if you're coming out to XAMPP and you're looking at it on this page, there's kind of a lot of stuff out here to get you started. I mean, even just this one little video helps out a lot. You can use the little automated installer to kind of put it on your PC, but if I was you, what I would do is I would go with this click to get other versions kind of option, and I'm going to kind of walk you through which one I would choose. So I'm on a Windows machine, and I kind of want to go to more downloads and then more downloads again. And now I'm kind of looking at this is the SourceForge website, so I'm going to kind of come down to Windows, and I'm going to choose the version that's got the most hits. It kind of looks like there's two of the same, but I'm going to choose this one because it's got more hits on it. And the first link here, this is the installer. That's kind of what you're getting if you click on any of the buttons on the XAMPP page. You're getting this guy. But what I'm going to do is I would get the zip file because to me I think it's a little bit easier to work with. So you get that guy and kind of see I've already downloaded mine. So this is kind of the zip file here, and it's going to take a little while to download. It's pretty big. It says 170 meg on the website, but it's I guess it's pretty close to that. So anyway, you want to unzip it, and once you unzip it, you'll get a folder kind of like this. And unzipped, it's a little bit bigger. It's almost 600 meg, getting close to. And so if you're at this point and you want to get it up and running and check it out, it's probably not going to work right out of the box. Which you can kind of open up the XAMPP folder and come down here and click on the control. This is the XAMPP control. This guy will kind of start your window, but it probably won't work if I hit the start button. Let's see, it's asking for firewall access, which is fine. And well, I guess it did work. What I typically find though is that I don't like it here. What I want to do is I take this XAMPP folder that kind of holds everything, and I put it on the root of my drive. So I have one right on the root of my C drive, and then I have a second hard drive in my computer called backups, and I have one here too. So there's a XAMPP folder here. I kind of have two installs of it, but because I got it as a zip file, it's kind of easy to move it around and put it different places. For a student like you guys, it'd probably be, you can kind of just put this XAMPP folder on a flash drive, just like I kind of got a second hard drive. But if this was a flash drive, I could put XAMPP on it, and then pretty much any PC I plug my flash drive into, I could kind of open up and turn into like a little development machine. So I'm really kind of carrying my development environment around on my flash drive and making it work wherever I go. But long story short, it doesn't matter, quite where you put it. I think on the website it suggests to put it on the root, and so I'm going to suggest is put it on the root. But it basically works the same regardless. Let's see, make sure I ain't got it running. Okay. No matter where you got it, you kind of just open it up the XAMPP folder, come down to the control, and run it. And then once you kind of hit the start button, it'll kind of kick itself up, asking for firewall again. I ran a different version. So when you kind of got this green here, that means it's kind of working. And these other guys we're not going to worry about right now, but it should be working. So if I come up here and I type in localhost, what I get is kind of like the home page for this guy, and that's so it's a lot of options here. It's kind of got some. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna kill this one because I think this is the older style. The one I had on C drive was better. Newer, sorry, newer. The one on my E drive I've had for a while. Let's see. So I'm gonna come down, click on Control, get it running. Didn't ask for a thing this time. Hit Start. And firewall issue, but it'll fix it. And so I'm going to do localhost again. Localhost. So this is kind of the newer style. I downloaded this today. So this is hopefully what it should look like when you open it up. And it's kind of the same options. There's some how-to guides in here and how to do different things. But we're mainly just going to kind of use it for a little bit about PHP. There's some kind of examples. Kind of how to send an email with PHP, kind of tell you how to configure it and stuff like that. And here's some PHP code that will do that. We'll send an email. But it's pretty neat. You can kind of click this PHP info, tell you all about your environment of PHP. And the PHP MyAdmin won't work because that's tied to this MySQL deal. But if you kind of kicked it up, and it's going to firewall rule. So I have to go back and hit it again. And basically what I get is I get a little MySQL instance. So I can kind of click on databases and make a database, or kind of use it how I need to, or so you can get some import and export options, and it's pretty neat. Depending on how much, hopefully we'll get kind of into this towards the end of the semester when we're doing more PHP, and we'll kind of try to tie in a little bit of database to it too. So, but that's kind of not what you need to know about right now. Right now, we're just going to kind of use it as a little mini website, and so there is a website in here. There's lots of folders, but this one in particular, it's called Htdocs. You can kind of open this guy up, and there's not much in here, but I can kind of create. Let's see. This is my completed assignment for this week. And the problem with this assignment is, like I say, we're kind of butting up towards the cross-origin request again. So if I kind of look at it and run the Chrome's going to start freaking out about things. So, but it won't matter when we kind of put it on a web server. So that's kind of what we're working towards. So anyway, in my Htdocs folder that's here, I'm going to kind of drop this Steins-Allen assign 8 deal that I got going on. So in my address bar up here at the top, it would be localhost Steins-Allen assign 8, and kind of shows what's in my folder. I should have just typed out the page, to be honest, but this is the HTML page, and so now it works. I don't get that cross-origin request error deal that's going on. When I hit refresh, it should work just fine. But that's a little bit about what XAMPP is. It's pretty neat, and you can do other stuff with it. Like I said, we're going to kind of transition into PHP, so I could kind of create just a test.php page. And when I go to edit that guy, put a little bit of PHP in here. Echo hello world. It's the first statement you always use when you're learning a new programming language, is the hello world statement. So we're going to see if this executes. PHP. What am I thinking? So kind of spits something out there. We'll learn a little bit more about syntax of PHP and how we can use it. It's kind of similar to JavaScript, but you can see it's a little bit different and have an echo statement in JavaScript. So anyway, that kind of hope walks you through XAMPP a little bit. when you kind of get done working with it, you're going to kind of want to make sure that you shut it down. So I'm kind of closing out folders. I'm going home for the day or something. It's my thing. I just want to make sure I kind of stop it, make sure it ain't running. Some other little neat things that you can do in here and make your life easier is, like Apache, probably, it's kind of more server administration, but some of the relevant files for Apache are here. So, kind of apache.conf and or the HTTP file. It's more, server administration kind of stuff, but you can kind of open it up and look at it. And you can see, I just opened it. It opened it up in Notepad, and it's pretty difficult to read. Good one thing that you could do is come to config, and there's where your editor is. It's choosing Notepad. You kind of change that to Notepad++. Hit OK, and save it. So this time, if I kind of open up the conf file, kind of see it a little bit better. And it's a really long file, but it's a lot of settings for Apache. And there's let's see if I can pick something out that looks interesting. You can capture certain error responses and throw them towards a certain page. So everybody's kind of seeing a 404 not found page. You could kind of create a missing.html page for people to go to it and set a message for a 500 error. Made a boo-boo. And it's pretty cool. Let's see if there's something else up here. It's probably worth looking at. I'm looking for our path, our website path. After a while, you get so used to reading config files, you can just kind of pick them up pretty easy. So here's what I'm looking for is the directory out of which you'll serve your documents. That's how I know to go to the Htdocs folder in XAMPP. If you kind of changed this document root document directory, you could put that folder kind of anywhere, or you could create like symlinks and stuff like that. But it's pretty easy just to kind of put it in the Htdocs folder. This is kind of saying that we're serving it over localhost on port 80. So if we could change that too, if we needed to, and set some other variables like a server admin stuff and lots of settings. Anyway, and there's other files in here too. You could edit and how PHP is configured. One of the things people like to see, or used to like to see, not so much anymore, is how to do the shortcut code. So it's about 2.14 here, it looks like, is this is turning off the shortcut code, and this has got a nice good explanation about how it used to be you wouldn't use the $PHP, and it'd just be these two. But as we're learning in XML this week, XML also opens with left and a question mark, so it's even kind of telling you there about that. And some other settings that could be changed. The nice easy setting for Y2K compliance. It's still an issue, I guess. That's pretty neat. Also look at logs and lots of other config files for different things. Like I said, Apache is mostly what we'll focus on. We'll hit MySQL a little bit, and we kind of last few assignments, I think. And you can kind of hit the Explorer button. Explorer button will pull up your XAMPP folder from wherever you're running kind of this control panel. So hit that Htdocs folder and you're kind of good to go. So anyway, that's a little walkthrough into learning XAMPP a little bit. It's not really much to it. It just enables you to do a lot of other stuff. So you can start developing in PHP by using Apache, and if you kind of want to learn how Apache works, XAMPP is a good way to learn that. So it's a real, you see it on Linux a lot, and Apache also can be on Windows, and obviously Apache is here, so it's a good web server to learn. A lot of web servers in the world use Apache. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful, and hopefully gets you started in XAMPP, and by getting started early, hopefully it won't become an issue when we actually start requiring PHP. In this week's assignment on XML, you could still kind of do this in Firefox, and it would probably still work, but Chrome and then my version of Internet Explorer is telling me no, so I figured I'd just go ahead and make the switch now, and I won't have to worry about it. And in the other video, it probably won't come up. I'll just kind of hide it behind the scenes. Anyway, hope this was helpful. Have a good one. Bye.